Hello, my name is Marie Contreras, and I am the proud owner of Marie C. Pet Care. Nothing is more important than my family, and my pets are part of the family in my house. For the last 5 years, I have dedicated myself to the world of pet care because I am a pet lover at heart. I consider myself an environmentalist, an animal rights activist, and a staunch supporter of the scientific research behind proper animal care and welfare. My videos focus on pet care and tips for having healthy and happy pets. I hope you stick around and enjoy what I have created for you today.
My name is Robert Ober and I live on the New South Wales Central Coast in Australia. So it's about an hour or so north of Sydney. And we're just going into our spring. So it's warming up outside, which is nice. The sort of standard-ish had the family dogs when we were young, growing up with dogs, and I always felt maybe a little bit closer than normal connection with dogs. Always loved them. Had them around in different relationships. Going back maybe to 8 to 15 years ago when we just moved up here, we were in a housing situation where we couldn't have a dog. We didn't have one just before we moved, and then it took a while and it was sort of draining. I know it was nice to see with friends and family to spend time with the dogs, but when the situation changed and we were able to move into a house where we could have one, that was basically one of the instigators that actually made us move from where we were. It was like, no, we've been way too long without a dog. So
No.
Then by chance we were looking around for different things. Actually saw a sign on a pole that said Doberman puppies, and we said, oh, how far away? My other half said, give them a call. If they're not too far away, we'll have a look.
Mm.
They happen to be in the same suburb. They were just looking to give the female one litter before they desext her. I'll be honest to say we weren't really looking for a Doberman, but once we went there, saw the pups, and one pup sort of basically chose us, and that's it. That was 8.5 years ago.
Is it a male or a female?
So we have a female. Her name is Marley. And that sort of, she was the reason then where I went really sort of heavily into everything dog again.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get that puppy, it's like research, and you get as much information from everywhere. Then you get frustrated because of the conflicting information.
So
And most people want to do the best that they can for their dogs. So I would listen to hours and hours of podcasts and do a lot of reading. I sort of tended to focus a little bit more on the healthcare side. A full disclaimer, and when we first got her, for I suppose the first 6 months to a year, she was kibble, and I know I'm probably going to upset some people saying that, but then when I learnt better, we took her off that, and she's been raw fed for many years now. She loves to run, so that also had a big impact on what I did and what I did with her.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of off-lead running, but to bond, we started doing jogging and running together. One event that I tell everyone about is called Park Run. Park Run is it's a human fun run, 5K, and they are everywhere. They're worldwide, and they're probably somewhere, wherever you are watching and listening to this, they're probably not too far away from you. The reason I love talking about them is the majority of them are dog friendly, and it's a great place to start to take your dog
Here,
for that physical stuff.
the majority of the runs here are not dog friendly. It's the
Oh,
rare,
okay.
it's the rare run that is dog friendly. They call them 5Ks and 10Ks. They go by the measurement here. And
Hmm.
I used to do one every weekend. I used to do a 5K every weekend, but you couldn't bring a dog. And I always felt a little guilty
Oh,
behind, because they would love it so much. But not all dogs are well behaved. And I think that's part of the problem is they didn't want dogs messing it up, I guess. But I know if my dog would have loved it.
no.
They have specific ones out here where
Um,
they'll say with your dog, but it's rare.
mhm.
So that's
Okay.
interesting.
We're probably a little bit the opposite, where out of I suppose there's probably 4 or 5 I can think of within a half an hour's drive from here, and there's only one that I know that you can't take them.
Are they regular? Here they have them for different. They're usually fundraisers. Like there would be a breast cancer run and a lung cancer run and a Parkinson's run.
Mhm.
They're usually
Oh,
raising money. Are yours
no,
ongoing in certain locations?
yeah, park run, they COVID permitting, and that's another thing that won't go into too much. But yeah, COVID permitting, they're on just about every Saturday morning.
Oh, how nice. Yeah, we should do that
So
here. That sounds nice.
you do have them there. I don't know whereabouts, but
I don't either because everywhere I've lived, I've never seen anything like that. But that
oh,
doesn't mean
okay.
it doesn't exist. It hasn't found me yet.
No, I mean, I was sort of aware of it for a while, then it went off the radar, and you think, yes, people just go and run, but it's great. You don't have to. You can walk. There's mothers with prams, and it's just I think an outdoor thing to do with people.
Do they have a certain start time and finish time?
The way they run their events is they're usually around that 8 o'clock in the morning mark.
Mm-hmm.
And if you Google them, and if you get a little bit more serious, you can get it. You can download a little barcode so they can time you. The other thing, it's all free. So
Yeah, not here. None of
okay.
it's free here.
So we did a bit of that, and then I felt she really focused on the running, and it was really, really good. I remember vividly our second event. It's in the one we went to, and there's like playing fields and stuff near it, and there were some young guys with a soccer ball, and they were walking and had the ball on the track, and we were about to go past them. And I was already holding, the lead back because I'm thinking Marley's got a bit sort of like, yeah, she loves balls. And I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be, and she ran straight past the ball within 2 meters. She'd never done that before. So that triggered something in me to try and investigate more. But a lot of the times if you give your dog something to do, and they're focused, they're running with you, they tend to, that's their job. And
Are Doberman dogs, are Dobermans working dogs?
They're, yes, classed as the working dog. Originally, I mean, their history, they were designed by a gentleman named Doberman, who was a tax collector in Germany, and he needed something to give him protection, but low maintenance, stamina, and intelligence. So that's the mini history of the Doberman. So we've progressed from there because of her love for running. We then went into a bit more things like canicross and also dryland mushing, which is basically, if you think of an adult size scooter,
Mm-hmm.
and she's attached in a proper harness and a bungee cord, and she just pulls me along with that, and she can go as fast as she likes, and I'm right there behind her, and I can just step off if I ever feel the need to, which I haven't yet.
Bone.
But yeah, and that's another thing, is we just go join a club, and again, barring COVID, there's a couple of times, this is a winter sport that we sort of have. We don't have the snow, but we can go into the forests, and she just enjoys having that run. We're there with the Siberian the huskies and the malamutes. So it's a little bit odd out, but when people first see her, they think, "Oh, hang on, what are you in the right place?" But when they see her run, they go, "Yes, she's in the right place." So, and it's sort of, yep. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, how did that translate to? I know that you have a podcast where you ask people about their dogs and their special stories with their dogs, and that's a lot of fun to listen to and to do. And I noticed on your LinkedIn profile that you also do dog massage. How did you get into that?
So that goes back to, again, after we got Marley. Again, I was doing the research and the health. I've always been really comfortable approaching or I should say not approaching, but letting dogs approach me. And I've always been very comfortable, no matter what the size of the breed, being in a dog's presence. More I researched the benefits for canine massage. I mean, with humans, everyone knows that it's a nice feeling. It's good for our body. There's all the physical benefits with working with muscles, with tissue, with blood flow, working on the lymphatic system. It's absolutely no different for a dog. They've got the same blood, bone, muscle tissue. The added benefits for doing massage on a dog is dogs are very stoic, as we know, and it's hard for them. They won't show any small signs of discomfort.
Can you feel
that's
them
just
when you're massaging them?
Part of the animal sort of you don't want to show any weakness. So when we have a little bit of a twist or a pain, it's like, oh, and rub it. But dogs are very stoic and they won't actually show that. It's not until you start putting your hands on a dog and moving them around, and majority of dogs will really enjoy that. It's that relieving tension. You're also working on the fascia. They will probably even move around to where they have got sore spots and direct your hand a lot of the time. The other benefits through research and through practicality is that when you've got your hands on your dog, there's that bond that you're building even more, because that connection, they're enjoying the physical touch. It releases the endorphins, gets all that sort of like good stuff that I love happening in the brain. I mean, you can see one of the key points is behind a dog's ears. Everyone sort of mostly knows that. The other thing is that for us humans, it does the same. I don't think anyone that doesn't feel happy when they start patting their dog. So I researched a bit more. There's a few different people around the world that release like videos on the different practitioners. There's different styles, just as there is with humans.
Do you have to be certified where you are?
Certification is an interesting area. So here in Australia, there was, at the time when I started to get into it, there was only 2 places that were doing a certification. One was down in a different state in Melbourne, and I was lucky to have one not too far away. It's a formal course, but you don't need that. I think that certification here, and our laws say that you don't actually have to have it. I know it's very different in the States.
Yeah, I had looked into it when I was doing when I first started my pet care business, and I was thinking, walking dogs or massaging dogs. I think massaging dogs would probably be more fun, just rubbing on them, and you didn't have to worry about the weather as much either. But here there was, like you said, there were only a couple places that were giving the courses, and it's been a long time, but I think you have to be certified, at least in California. Yeah,
I know it varies on the different states over there. So the other benefits of massaging the dogs is you're getting the dogs more comfortable with human touch.
Mhm.
You can work on different dogs with different anxiety issues. They're getting ready for if you have to take the dog to a vet or even a different vet that's not yours, that they don't have any issues with people or vets or anyone touching their paws or any other different spots. One of the other big sort of like advantages is, as a pet guardian, you got your hands on your dog, you're the first person that'll be able to pick up any changes when they start developing those little lumps and bumps and things like that. And I think it was something around 70% of dogs, when they're getting a little bit older, when they're into that sort of like 5, 6, 7 years, they will start to develop different lumps and bumps.
Mhm. I've seen that.
The majority of them will just be fatty tissue, but the more that you are conscious of them, the easier it is for you to say, hang on, this one's growing, really fast, or it's changing in density if it's getting harder. And that way you're much more prepared to go to the vet to say, hang on, look, this is what's been happening. It's taken this long to get that big. And then they can take, they've got a much better idea of what they're working with.
Do you do the dog massage very often, or is it something that you think the dog owner should learn?
I personally think dog owners should be massaging their dogs nearly every day.
My dogs would agree with you.
And there's also the intent of the massage. So one of the easiest things I sort of say for people to understand is, for people that go out, say, for a jog or a run, you put your runners on, you open the front door, but are you doing sprints straight away? And everyone looks and goes, no, you warm up.
Mm-hmm.
But yet the majority of people with a dog will go to the park or the beach, open the car door and throw a ball, throw a stick straight away.
Yeah.
It's, I'll say there's a lot less chance of a dog doing itself any injury if, again, it has a little bit of a warm-up.
Mm-hmm.
And a warm-up for a dog can be just basically just taking it through a bit of a walk, a little bit of a trot. From a massage point of view, putting your hands on, just rubbing up, getting that blood flow going, just a little bit of a warming of the muscles. And it can only take 5 minutes or so. And that will dramatically cut down the risk of them doing any damage to themselves. On the flip side, after your dog has done, some exercise, you can do, like a cooling down, the same as when people do some stretching, a little bit more relaxing. You can go through some of those exercises with your dog, and basically it's just longer, slower strokes to get them to develop a little bit more of a calming sort of feeling, leading them into relaxation.
Where can people find you?
I am the Relaxed Dog. And if you Google that, you'll come across me somewhere. So the podcast is called The Relaxed Dog, and my website, therelaxeddog.com.
Okay. Well, and I will put links in the description too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you enjoyed this video, nudge the like button. If you would like to see more like this, consider subscribing. If you would like to read the blog or check out my new book, I'm going to leave links to them in the description. Thank you for watching.